Okay. Okay, so we're going to be working on the left-hand side. We finished working on this part, left-hand side, today. We'll try to finish the whole thing and maybe fix the snow a bit because it needs a bit of highlighting in certain areas. Now, I have here raw umber, cadmium red light, titanium buff. If you don't have titanium buff, white is fine. Titanium white is fine. All right, so I'm going to work on the awning that's in the back, the red one. So I'm going to take raw umber, cadmium red light, mix them, titanium buff. It's a very soft, earthy pink in there. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. The only reason I'm saying that, I'm adding these colors together because these are warm colors and you don't want them to come forward too much. But this is a nice thing about this painting, this reference. It has beautiful warm colors. And let's see. And that's why I'm not being, I'm using corner of this flat brush because I don't want it to look too defined. All right, now I'm just gonna do this. It's gonna dry darker, of course, so I'm keeping in mind that I might have to go back and adjust some of these colors. So I'm gonna do the bottom part. Push it in. And then I'm going to take titanium buff, add it to the color. And then just, it has some kind of a band down here. And we're good. I'm just highlighting the top part of the awning. And we're going to leave it. Okay, so now we're going to paint this sign, which is behind the column, because I'm trying to finish everything behind the column before we come forward. So this sign actually if you look at it, it has a nice detail that it has a post that curves somewhere from here, and then it goes up this way. Now, it's up to you if you want to put that curve or that post in here, or just leave it. It doesn't matter. But for the sign, I'm going to be using raw umber red, so it's a dark kind of red, kind of brownish red. It's nice to see this these warm colors, soft, earthy, warm colors in the back. And with a round brush, I'm just going to put a line. And it doesn't have to be, of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. honestly, it really doesn't have to be exactly the same what you're seeing, or even the position where these lines are. Um, it just kind of putting it there somewhere, anywhere, it's fine as a just we're looking at color. That's what we were looking at. All right, so now we're gonna go. I'm gonna attempt to put this freehand, and if I don't like it, I can always remove it. It's like a little half a circle in there, one part of a half a circle. Okay, now while I have this color red, which is brown red, I'm gonna add some here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. This is just suggestions. Change my brush now, wider one. Take some more of this brown and red, and wipe my brush. Let's take a bit more red in here. Why not? It's a nice color. And just put that in here. And random. Mostly upper part of the door. And let it sit and dry. Then we'll come back to the cotton. Okay, so one more thing we have to do in the back is cover this part, which I think it's an awning. I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't matter. So this color that you see in the back, you can achieve that by using phthalo blue, yellow ochre, and mix them together, and you'll get that color. And I just had a bit of a sample right here. We could add a bit of titanium white to tone it down, or white. So instead of using the phthalo blue, I'm just going to use the same colors I used for the rest of the painting, which is a bit of cerulean blue. And I should have done this last week. I have cerulean blue here with raw umber. I'm just going to mix them. More cerulean blue than raw umber to change a bit the color, and then take the bit of titanium buff. And let's paint this. Okay. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, of course. And let's take a round brush for this part, round part right here. Or it's not round in the picture, it's more like a slant, right? This on an angle. All right, now let's take the titanium buff. I'm going to put a tiny bit of blue in it. But mostly titanium buff. Just put that over here. This way, when we finish this part, the background will be done. There we go. All right. Good. All right, that's it for this part. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is mask this column. It's up to you. Like I mentioned before, if you want to mask, put a masking tape or just do it freehand. It's easier when it's masked and faster, I find. Right? Okay, let's do that. Let's do, again, raw umber, red, cadmium red light, raw umber. It gives you that beautiful kind of burnt sienna. Okay. It's great when you mix colors and you find that, oh, that looks like burnt sienna. That looks like, it's awesome. This is how you learn how to mix paint by, trying. Okay, let's do that. Oh, good, awesome. That's going to need more than one layer. All right, I'm going to do another layer. Hopefully by the time I'm mixing, and this color, this would be somewhat dry. It doesn't have to be 100%. All right. Now I can see that half of this column is on an angle. So, or not half, this column, the whole thing is on an angle. So one part looks lighter than the other part. So what I'm going to do is add, and I'm just doing it because it's fun. Why not? I'm adding titanium buff to the same color, and I'm just going to take part of it from, let's say, here across. You can't see it. I'm going to put a bit more of that titanium buff in the same colors so you can see it. It's going to dry darker anyway. So let's do that. That's better. All right, let's try to have the same line going down. And again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it's be nice to have a suggestion of a color, of a line, straight line. Perfect. All right. That was easy. All right. Let's clean up a bit. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm going to do one more thing and then I'll pause. Raw umber, titanium buff, mix them. A little bit of raw umber, more titanium buff. So it's a light color here. I have here perfect color for that. And then I'm just going to, with a round brush, paint the bottom. Now, I'm going to take a little bit more of the raw umber, put it in. And have a line right here. Take it outside, a little bit out. All of these colors paint, this paint is going to dry darker. All right, that's good. All right, perfect. All right, after next step, I'm going to be doing the stone, the bottom. Okay, so now let's do the bottom part. So what I'm going to do is take raw umber, paint the whole thing in raw umber so I can cover the first layer. And the raw umber I'm using is not thick. It's kind of like a wash. Okay. Now, so usually if you noticed, off camera, I cheat a lot, meaning I add things, I adjust, I, touch up here and there. So if you see something that wasn't there before I paused, it's just because I added that after.
Yes, we've noticed that. Nikki. You know, like, she just wiggles her nose and.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a small brush, and it's a square or a bright, small, so I can get my brush strokes showing a suggestion of stone. So I'm going to take again raw umber. Let's take a bit of titanium buff in there. Come here. Just add it randomly in any shape you like. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Let's add a tiny bit. I have yellow ochre. I'm going to add it to that same color. Just a bit of yellow ochre with raw umber and titanium buff. It's a bit too light, so let's go darker. Nice. Another one here.
Yeah, our tenants are moving upstairs, so my daughter and son-in-law are looking to rent again.
Oh, moving to the
Well,
unit.
they were students. They were here for a year.
Yeah.
So now they're just showing the upstairs of the house, and their other house on over in Alderwood. They're looking to fix that up and rent because my grandson he was allowed to live there for a year rent free, and his year's up.
Nice.
And he just bought himself a condo.
Oh, good for him.
So he saved his money.
Good. Yes. Good.
He moves in not bad for 24 years old.
Good for him.
Yeah. But he doesn't do anything like he doesn't spend a lot of money like that. He's the one kid that saves every penny he's ever earned.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm putting colors here randomly, not really randomly, but I'm watching what I'm seeing in there. And I'm just trying to do the same, kind of. That's a kind of like guideline for me. All right. In no time, we're going to be done with this. Again, this is a fun part because you put randomly whatever, your brushstrokes, whatever you like, and it looks good. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Let's put a bit of brown, and then I'll pause. And then, of course, I'm going to fiddle with it. All right. It should dry darker. And if it doesn't dry darker, it's fine. Still good. It's the right. Once we put snow over all this, it'll be fine. All right, now we're gonna get rid of this half lantern in here. I don't know why I put it there. It's there but it doesn't look good. It's in the reference. So I'm gonna take, it's kind of, it doesn't have to be the same colors. This is cerulean blue, raw umber. And just put a line in there. Right there. A little bit up here. Doesn't matter, you know, when what's happening. This is the edge of the canvas, so we can cheat a bit. And let's do this. Then I'm gonna take this or that, this yellow ochre or yellow oxide. Doesn't matter, whatever you have. Raw umber. Mix them. And cover that one too. And done. It's magic. There. Okay, now, just because I have the colors, I have titanium buff and raw umber, I'm going to mix them together with a bit of yellow oxide or yellow ochre, doesn't matter. Just titanium buff and raw umber is fine. And I'm just going to put something on this sign here because it's just sitting there and it's a sign. It's supposed to be a sign, but I don't know. It looks kind of unfinished. So there we go. We have a sign that has something on it. Next week we'll work on the lantern and we'll do the snow a bit, clean up the snow, and then we'll start the figure. This is awesome. We started. Oh, by the way, I added this little thing here underneath the lantern if you want. It's just part of the post. You know, the post that comes up for this one, for this sign. It's up to you. You don't have to put it. It's up to you. Doesn't make a big difference. All right, so this is it for this week. Good. Next week we'll continue.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Okay, this is the end of this project, this session for this week. Next week we'll start working on the snow and some bit of more details.